is Dr. Shane, and we are here, African American Marriage Counseling with Dr. Shane, and we are inside the Situation Room. We are inside the Situation Room, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Today, we are going to talk about a situation that happens all the time. 63% of all marriages, so I understand, will deal with some form of infidelity, some form of betrayal, some form of what am I going to do now? So today we're just going to dive into this topic that occurs often in marital counseling. So let me just start by saying divorce rates drop as much as 30% with an intervention. I don't want you to be discouraged right now. If you just found out that your spouse has told you a mistruth, a deception, or you have been betrayed. I know it's a tough topic, and I don't even like to talk about it, but it comes up, you guys. And in the situation room, I try to talk about situations that you actually see. So today we are just going to dive into betrayal. One of the most interesting things I've seen, I kind of have learned over the years that most couples, spouses, women are better at this than men, fellas. We are horrible. We talk about women being emotional. We're way more emotional. Uh, is that, boy, you've been hurt, and now what? I find women tend to be better, but it hurts just as much. We can understand during the course of a 10, 20, 30, 40-year marriage, something may happen. Someone may have an affair. People are prepared for it. People are wired for it. One of the things I find that people aren't prepared for is betrayal. Is betrayal. And this is one of the biggest things that I have to deal with is people can't deal with. You look me in the eyes and you didn't tell me the truth. You looked me in the eyes, you told me a lie. And I find that's one of the biggest things that couples are left to try and recover with. So let me say a couple of things here. If that is who you are, if that's where you're at, I want you to know, simply put, most couples survive infidelity. Most couples survive. Most people stay. They figure out, how do we get through this? Got a 2-year old, got a 4-year old, someone's pregnant. So I don't want you to panic if this is the situation you find yourself in. And those you guys, you could type in a browser, tell me who you are. You could type a 1, tell me where you are from, so I kind of know who's on the call. But anyways, most couples survive and divorce rates drop as much as 30%. So I don't want you to be panicked. This doesn't mean that you have to break up your family, but it might mean something more important. So a lot of us think there are two options. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? And if you're out there thinking, should you stay? Should you go? You could type in stay or go. But there's really a third option, and that's the big one. Can we stay and fix it? Can we stay and fix it? So, what do I mean by that? I am not. I am not trying to give your spouse a pass. I'm not trying to blame you or your marriage for their decision to be somewhere else. I'm just going to say something I find to be really, really true. Usually, usually, the infidelity is the symptom of a problem and not the problem itself. So, first of all, infidelity, it could be sexual infidelity, it could be emotional infidelity, it could be financial infidelity, it could be a work husband, a work wife. It could be you come home and you find all these bags in the closet and all these clothes in there with receipts on them. You're like, wow, I've been struggling to pay off these credit cards, and you keep running it up. The common denominator is if someone felt rejected and betrayed, in their world, it was in infidelity. Because I have people say, well, I didn't sleep with them, or well, it only happened once, or well, it was only money, or well, it was blankety, blankety, blank. But if that person, your spouse, felt betrayed and rejected, in their world, it's an infidelity. It's an infidelity. So we got to figure out one or two things. Was your spouse happy? Was the marriage happy, or was the marriage unhappy. If the marriage was happy, we're in trouble. Let me tell you that. I said that, I'm going to say that again. If the marriage was happy, we're in trouble. I want you to go to the browser, type in happy marriages are different. If they're happy, what do? I got Tiger Woods, Kevin Hart. They were happy by all accounts. And they did it anyways because now I might be dealing with, boy, do we have sexual addiction? Do we have impulse control? Do we have ADHD? So, shocker, shocker, shocker. If they're unhappy, I actually relax because you can take an unhappy person and make them happier. Am I talking more about the problem than this person's behavior for a reason? Yes. Yes, I am. Because if we're going to fix it, ultimately, we got to decide what was the problem, what's the symptom of the problem. If I treat the problem, if symptoms will abate. If I treat the symptoms, they won't. So I'm going to say one last thing, and we're going to wrap up here because it's important that we understand that if the spouse was unhappy, there's a lot of hope. How do we deal with the problem? What was separating you two? So, what were we always having that tension about? How long had this been going on? What did we do? Why couldn't we hear each other? Why couldn't we meet each other's needs? So I say that to say a lot of times infidelity is what gets people to come and see somebody like myself. So if there's been an infidelity, if there's been an infidelity, it may be a sign that the marriage we have is dead. And the question then becomes, how do we give birth to a new marriage? Let's take the pulse. Let's stick a fork in it. If it's dead, let's eulogize it and bury it and start to give birth to another one where we start to meet each other's needs. So these are the biggest truths. These are some of the biggest truths about infidelity, some of the biggest truths about, boy, how do we move forward? Anyways, it's Dr. Shane. Feel free to chime in. I thank you for joining me. I am here Monday, Wednesday at noon. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Thanks a lot. You are in the Situation Room, and I look forward to seeing you for our next visit. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.